Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Untold, our very special Eid edition. Um, what do they say in English?
Eid Mubarak. Was it Ahmad?
Yes. Blessed Eid. There you go. Hussein, welcome. Happy Eid.
Thank you so
How's
much.
Eid going with you?
Eid Mubarak to you too, and to your family, of course.
Thank you.
In Adalek.
It's been quite a month. It flew by, honestly, for me.
100%.
So many great, colorful guests every day.
Yeah.
Different topics.
Beautiful insights, beautiful conversation.
Right.
A lot of lessons.
And today we have a very interesting dentist. He's a little bit famous.
Exactly.
Most of you know him.
A little bit famous.
A little bit.
Just more than 250,000 followers. Not much.
Yeah.
Not much. Yeah.
And I think we're gonna have quite an interesting conversation.
I'm
about,
very excited, honestly, and because I think he's he's a dentist and a volunteer in the same time. He has so many sides to him.
So
There's
many
so
sides.
much you could talk about.
How about we get to know him on a personal level
Let's do it.
right after this?
All right. We're back from the break. We can finally welcome Dr. Yousif German. How are you, doctor?
I'm good. How's it going?
All good. Eid Mubarak, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Aunt Bukhair, as they say. Happy Eid to you and to your family. It's a
Same
pleasure
to
to
you
have you
guys.
on board.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you. Shall we start with the big question?
Very big question is why?
Now we always ask the question of the untold story of our guest. Like, what's in a brief way? What's the untold story of you, doctor?
Well, I've always had a passion for art. That's to begin with. But then,
Art.
that's right. Art. So I was, doing lots of art when I was in high school and all.
What kind of art?
Like drawings, painting, no, yeah. But I've never thought about dentistry at all until I actually had an accident. I fell on a pool. We were young, teenagers. Fell on the pool, fell on my face. Went to a doctor. He was an endodontist, which is a specialist in root canals. And I was very happy with the results and the personality he showed me. And I was very influenced by him. And he told me that if I had great hand skills, it would be very nice if I join or if I do dentistry in the future. So I put that in mind, graduated from high school. I applied abroad and I was thinking about dentistry. And I actually applied and I got accepted, and that's how it started.
To me, I can't relate, to be honest, because dentists and I are not.
Why? Everyone says horror stories about you guys, and I have a great experience usually.
Because you never went to the dentist when you had pain. It's just like when you had dislocated shoulders. You'll always had your orthopedist. You will hate your orthopedist. But if you never had a dislocated shoulder and you just go for a checkup, you're never going to hate him.
People react when they are in crisis usually about their teeth.
And it's very hard to deal with patients that are in pain. They're already coming here unhappy.
Exactly.
It's very hard to make them very happy.
There's so much to talk to you, doctor, about whether it's on the business side, the fame side, the dentistry side, and the volunteering side, and the cosmetics side. The first thing I think I have to say is I love the fact that you're inspired by art. Like, that's something I didn't actually expect to hear. And
So you see dentistry as an art, especially with cosmetics.
Definitely. It's just like holding a camera, just like everybody else here. If you don't know what you're looking at, you're never gonna be a good, cameraman, or you're not gonna get to take a good video. You know about the settings, but if you don't have that artistic look, it's never gonna be a good video or a good photo.
which means that to each customer is their own direction, their own. It's like you're painting a painting.
That's right. Personality
very
plays a
subjective.
big role as well.
What attracted you to cosmetics specifically? Because that doctor inspired you to become a dentist.
That's right.
Not a cosmetics.
Yeah, that's right.
dentist. Yeah.
I think when I was in residency, I was doing lots of cosmetics as well. I was trying, when you're in residency, you try everything. You try surgeries, you try root canals, you try
And you liked
crowns.
the cosmetics.
And I did like the cosmetics. And I think
Any reason in particular?
Art.
Arts.
that's one thing.
Right, there you go.
That's it.
Art.
Second thing, I think I'm good with people.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm
And I
good with
think you need
people.
a good personality with the customers
That's
and all
right.
that.
That's right.
I love that you're throwing a perspective. Honestly, even this I didn't expect you to say. Like, I didn't expect you as a doctor to say that you need to be good with people to be a cosmetics doctor.
I think it helps. It goes a long way.
100%. And
Yeah.
would you say that all of these, the addition of all of these, made you the person you are today, whether it's in your career and your success, or in the social media level of fame you've achieved?
What makes you different than everybody else? There's so many cosmetic dentists, and there's so many US grads,
Yeah.
and there's
Yeah.
so many use the highest or latest technologies. So
So
what
what
makes you
sets you
different?
apart
What, yeah, exactly. What
as
sets you
you,
apart is
as a
you,
doctor, as an individual,
and
how you handle your patients.
exactly how do you connect? How do you connect with your patient? It's just not.
Nice.
It's not a
That's
selling. It's
important.
not a selling. You know, everybody can sell, but you're a doctor first before you're doing cosmetics. You remember you're a doctor number one,
Yes.
and then you are a cosmetic doctor.
So would you attribute your social media fame to how you've handled your patients, and that's how your popularity grew?
It's somehow right. Uh, in the beginning, it actually didn't, but then once you see more patients and you build that, actually, people think that social media is very strong. Actually, word of mouth is stronger.
Because people talk about Dr. Yousif, Dr. Yousif, Dr. Yousif.
But then nobody went to Dr. Yusuf. Nobody will come. They will come for a consult, but they will never continue. So word of mouth is
Word of mouth is stronger than any
social media.
ad you can post on
Exactly.
social
There's
media.
there's no
That's
no
true.
Yep.
And that must have taken a long time for you to build a very, very positive image and a very positive word of mouth about Dr. Yousif.
It took me a long time. Yes. I would say social media will shorten that time with time. Like if
Yeah.
you back in the day, you will maybe take 10 years. Now
Yeah.
you could take 2 to 3 years.
It's
to
like a
build that.
booster.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
It will fasten your process if
Exactly.
you use it right. Yep.
I mean, doctor, you worked on yourself for 14 and a half years. So I'm sure you have all the patience it takes for
Yeah.
you to be successful, and here you are.
Yeah. Just a random question. There's like a debate between us and the team. How many specialties are there in dentistry?
I actually don't know. I didn't count them. Okay. Or
All right, he's gonna count them for us.
ortho, which is
Yeah.
braces,
Uh-huh.
endo, root canals, perio, which is specialty of gum diseases and implants,
Uh-huh.
and then there's pros, which is crowns and bridges,
Mm-hmm.
and then there is oral surgery,
Mm-hmm.
and then there is oral pathology. That's 6.
Ahmad, are you taking notes?
I'm counting. I'm counting. Okay.
Dentistry.
Okay.
That's 7.
We're 7. Okay.
That's it. I think 7.
Really?
Yeah.
So we have two answers. According to my friend who's studying in the US, it's 12 specialties. In Kuwait, it's 9. Unless I got that the other way around, but I think that's it.
Shall we talk about the other direction of things? Fair enough. You went into the kind of like the world of dentistry and cosmetics. What about the volunteering side of things? What is it about volunteering that you do, and what is it that you would love doing?
So we started in 2000. Like, unfortunately, we don't have that like implemented in our high school or middle school like in the US or abroad. So I never got to experience that back in the day. We experienced giving by, like, you hear your mom, you hear helping people by giving some money, but it's not the same feeling when you're actually doing the act. So when I went to the US after 4 years in undergrad, and then I went to the 4 years in grad school, we started going on volunteer trips that are required by the school. So you have to do like 3 or 4 trips per year. Or so the feeling I got after every trip, even though I had to do it,
It felt good.
it felt amazing.
Amazing
From
to be able to
patients.
give back,
Exactly.
right?
And those patients are so appreciative,
Of course,
and
yeah.
it's such a simple procedure you're doing, but it's so
So
rewarding.
that feeling made you want to continue volunteering later on in life.
That's right.
Tell me more about your volunteer trips.
I came back to Kuwait, stayed here for another year, and then I went back to my specialty again. And then unfortunately, the crisis in Syria and all started again in 2012. So I have lots of Syrian friends around the world and in the US. We studied together. So I heard they had an organization there. So I joined that organization and started doing trips from the US, flying to like Jordan or
To
Syria.
support.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was
That's
very
great.
bad or very hard, I would say, in the beginning,
But
because it
very
was just
rewarding
out
in
of
the end, right?
yeah. But like during the years, starting from 2012, coming until 2023,
Yeah.
sadly it got easier, but the people are the same. But it got easier because you don't see so many. Somebody just lost his dad. Some
Yeah,
kid
yeah.
is alone. Somebody buried his sister.
Must be very
you know.
hard being there, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. It's very hard in the beginning. Honestly, I always would come back. I would say rewarding afterwards, but you would come back with definitely a little bit sad and upset.
I love how selfless this move went. Honestly, thank you so much for that.
Throughout these trips you've made, what would you say is the most common disease you've had to deal with?
See, again, in the beginning, because they just moved in, you would see lots of acute diseases. So you would see lots of abscesses, lots of infections, lots of lots of acute
What do
diseases
you attribute that to? Why do they have that?
because they just moved to a new place. Like you new viruses, new bacteria, something. They just got to that new place. They just met to each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody's coming to that place. They are in one camp. Kids are always playing around in dirty
Of
ground. They're
course,
not
of
used to
course,
that. They were in
of
somewhere
course.
else. Later on, it got to more of, I guess, chronic diseases. So more of dentistry, let's say. In the beginning, it was cavity. Now it was gum disease. Now they lost all their teeth. Now they don't
So
have
it's
anything to
getting
eat.
worse with time.
It's getting worse, but chronic. So they can bear the pain, but it's worse to treat.
Oh, okay. See, wow. And then that must be very, very hard to deal with. I mean, you're having that many. How many people are we talking about when you're volunteering
When you
there?
go to these trips
On the
about
camps,
Yeah, yeah. We're talking.
you would in Zatari camp only. There's by 2014 there were 180K.
180K, excuse me, how many doctors are you on that trip?
No,
That must be.
we go like, and every trip that is different. Sometimes we go only dentistry.
So
Sometimes
180K covered by how
we
many
cannot
doctors?
cover all of them. We cannot cover all of them.
Oh,
There's no way.
okay.
But that's in the camp.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
just go. We
yeah.
announce that we're there for 1 week.
Very, very nice to see how you're doing this out of they call a selfless deed, and you're giving it kind of like from the heart. And I think it's rare. It's rare to see this nowadays. If there's one thing you feel, there's always a learning lesson from these trips. What do you feel you learn from it?
Uh, I would say people underestimate the feeling of giving. People think taking is more rewarding than giving. Like if you bought something, if you got a gift, if you got a feeling or whatever, that they think it's more rewarding than actual giving, but they're missing out. I think if they start to give and they see the rewards on other people's faces, on the feelings and the prayers and the nice words, they would actually appreciate it more.
Lovely perspective. Try to give, I guess.
So with these trips, the volunteering trips and all the charity work you've been able to do, how has it affected your career, you would say?
Lots of patients complain.
Wait.
Missing appointments.
Oh, because you're doing all the volunteering, they're waiting up at the clinic. They're like, "Where's my doctor? I need my new Hollywood smile."
Lots of complaints.
But you must. I mean, definitely. Do you feel it added onto your career in terms of going there that much? That's tremendous experience. Seeing 180K, more than 100K.
Yeah. So like whenever you get busy with life, you get like upset at little things. You think it's a big stuff.
Yeah.
But when you go there and come back, you feel like, oh, this is so silly. I shouldn't be even upset about this. There are so bigger things that I should be upset about. And people are actually in the camp, they're happy. They have much more bigger problems. And they are still living. And you are
Nice.
upset about flat tire or,
Right,
you know,
exactly.
about little things that you think it's gonna, you know,
Yeah.
a big thing to you, but they are actually very small.
Puts
So you
things in
come back
perspective.
and you're like, oh, alhamdulillah.
I love that.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah, you have the basic
Yeah,
needs, and
alhamdulillah.
that's all more
Yeah.
than needs. Nice.
Well, the conversation is continuing right after our break, and we'll come back to talk some more about your career, your social media, and maybe even touch on handling or managing customers' expectations right after this break. We're back on the Untold with our very special guest, Dr. Yousif German. Back to the show. How are you?
I'm good.
Are you ready to continue?
Let's go.
Let's dive into social media. You are famous, sir. So, how do you handle your role as a doctor, but on very public medium like social media?
It's a lot of responsibility, especially you would imagine it's lots of responsibility to the society, but it's also lots of responsibility to your family as well. Like even your family, like a traditional family, will not accept you posting pictures. Like back in the day, I'm talking posting pictures or posting pictures with your family, you know, how society thinks and all. But I was trying to show the society and people and everybody that how I actually live my life and how it's actually you should be proud of your family and your sisters and your mom and all. And I try to like to get down to the personality level to connect with people. I try to be very simple. I am a doctor. I have a doctor life. I have also a human life that I live. So I try to share that with people. It's not easy. It's not easy. Lots of people will judge you because you're a doctor. How are you living like that when you're a doctor, you know? But with time, I think people accepted it and they actually like it and they're trying to do the same thing that I'm doing, which I'm very happy that people actually are accepting it.
So accepting what exactly? Which part exactly?
You know, like people I would say, or your mom would say, "You're a doctor, you cannot do this. You're a doctor, you
Yeah, yeah,
cannot
yeah.
wear this. You're a doctor,"
So it's either you're a doctor or you're a social media.
or human being, let's say, a normal human being,
Yeah,
person, you know?
I'm on your page right now, and I
I
love
can see that.
the favorite part about your page. I'll be honest, it's in your bio. You have humanity first,
Yes, yes.
and I love that. Honestly, it's very.
Come from all your trips and what have you experienced?
Yes, yes, definitely, yes. I honestly truly care about people. It hurts me when it shouldn't hurt me. Like as a doctor, when because you cannot meet everybody's expectations. You'd never be able to make everyone happy. There's no one can. Sometimes when I make someone unhappy, not meaning to, I still feel unhappy. Like I go home and probably cannot sleep. Might not be my mistake. It might not be their mistake, but it just happened.
Let's talk about managing expectations, because in cosmetics it's objective rather than subjective, right? I'm not here with a pain and you're going to fix that pain. We're here to fix something and make it cosmetically look better. How do you manage those expectations?
Must be a lot of pressure on you, to be honest.
It is, but with, I mean, I guess with experience, with you would you have to be patient. We have to be honest with the patient. You cannot be telling him, this case, you will be like, this patient. You cannot be the same. You cannot be the same. You would look better than now, but you will never look like this. Your health status, your teeth status, you will not be able to reach that. You will be better than what you are now, but it will not reach that level. So you have to be honest from the beginning.
Yeah.
Tell the patient what you're gonna do, what's your expectation. I mean,
So what do you do when the customer comes back or the patient and or after the surgery, after the big reveal, and they're like,
This is not what I asked
this
for.
is not what I.
These are not my teeth.
see, I try to avoid that by all means, but it happens. So what I do usually is I give my patient,
Like, is there not like an option to try the
and I
teeth?
don't pressure them to take
Okay.
them. I don't mind they say no, I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't mind them saying, okay, I want those teeth longer. I want the canines a little bit sharper. Yes, I make my own, I guess, design,
Okay.
and then which the social media helps to people trust your taste.
Yeah.
So I'll tell my patients, do you have anything in this particular, or do you want me to design your smile as I think it should be?
And if they insist on something,
I would tell them that you cannot be like that,
yeah,
but I can get you a little bit closer.
you're very flexible, and I love the honesty you give your customers, because there's a lot of debate and talk in the market that sometimes some doctors just go with the flow with what the patient wants, and it's just always perhaps negative at the end on the patient himself.
As you said in the beginning, nobody likes a dentist. It's to begin with.
I mean, I
to be-
loved my dentist.
To begin with, it's a negative expectation from the patient. They don't want to be here. They want their nice smile, but they don't really want to be here. They don't want to spend 3-4 hours on the chair. So I know they're coming, and not in the best form of themselves, and uh, I guess I try my best to meet their expectations, but it just doesn't
I'm
always
sure you are. I have a question about your social media. Do you think you as a doctor you'd be in the same spot, in the same boat today, with or without social media?
Without social media, I would say it would take me longer to be in this. I will be in the spot,
Mm,
but
yes.
but
You'll be
it'll
here.
take
You'll be
me
on the
longer.
Untold.
You'll be on Untold.
It will take me longer. It will take me longer.
Okay, so social media helps,
Yes, and I think social media is our life now, so we cannot deny it.
unfortunately.
It's our life now, unfortunately. You're right. Unfortunately, it's our life now. We cannot deny it. everybody will look on your Instagram as your CV. If you're a doctor or what,
Yeah.
they will look in your Instagram.
Exactly. Ahmed, in the past, in the Untold past episodes, we always asked our guests, do you think the customer is always right? I kind of feel like in your field, the customer is usually not right.
Confused.
It's like,
For me, no, the customers are not usual, right? Because this is a medical part. So when they tell me, let's assume a very common question, doctor, I want just put some veneers on my teeth. I don't want you to touch my teeth. I don't want to shave my teeth. You know, that's a very common
Yeah, but you
question.
can't just put veneers without shaving. You
At
can't.
some cases,
Some
yes. At
cases.
some cases,
Okay.
you can. But patients see, commercials, see advertisements, see
it's like tunnel
something.
vision. It's like, I want
Yeah, I
this.
want something without shaving my teeth. I love my teeth and I don't want to shave them.
And in their case, you can't do that.
I tell them I don't want to do your case. If you want that, go to a different person. I don't think your case is eligible for non-shaving, you know? So that's a lot of, lots of complaint about that. Lots of patients are towards definitely, I like it that patients or people start to care about their teeth, but they should take care of their teeth at home before they come. They have lots of cavities and they want non-shaven. It doesn't work.
Why do you think people are so obsessed with the perfect smile?
The
Their,
Hollywood smile, don't have
yeah,
they
their
call it?
original smile might be just as beautiful, but they still insist on playing with it.
When we're talking about the customer was right, when they come and their
Yeah.
teeth are like your teeth, let's
Yeah,
assume,
if I
or his
came to
teeth,
you and I was like,
I will tell you
I want veneers
in a
on mine.
nice way, get
Yeah.
out of here.
Oh, you
Yeah.
would say that?
Yeah.
You would refuse
Yes.
service to me?
Yes, I would
Really?
refuse it. Yeah.
They're that great.
They're good. Actually, both of you. Very
Seems-
nice teeth.
Doctor, from your field, you're someone that obviously strive. You always want to be at the best of what you do, and I kind of feel like you're also influenced, and you're doing the same on social media. But the question is kind of like, I'm not sure if it's a question or not, but like, do you feel like does social media make you a bit too perfectionist or too critical in yourself and what you deliver and how you deliver?
Maybe too careful about what you post.
I am careful about my phones for sure.
Even in your career, by the way, I'm not just talking.
Yeah.
Has it spilled over onto your field or your job?
Uh, I always like the indirect way of teaching or learning. I like people to like something and then do the same. I don't like to tell them, okay, you brush your teeth.
Brush 3 or twice a day.
2 or 3 is fine.
So I think the next question is that for real. Let's assume someone's watching now, and because everyone has the $1 million questions, like what's the top trick? How do I actually maintain my teeth? Like in a brief, like tricks.
See, everybody's different, right? Just like when you're, how can I make it closer? Okay. For example, somebody when they eat this much of a sandwich, they will gain weight. And somebody eats this much of a sandwich and they don't gain weight. They're different. They're different, right? You cannot tell that this guy to work out the same as this guy or this guy to eat the same thing as this guy, all right? So everybody's different for their routine. Some people
you would
are
say
very
that
easily to get
that
cavities.
applies to
Yes.
oral care?
Yes, some people very easily get cavities.
Uh-huh.
Some people don't get cavities at all sometimes. So after you go for your 6 months regimen or routine, we will tell them, okay, you need to clean your teeth every 6 months. You need X-rays every 6 months or 1 year because you're 1 year. That means you don't get so much cavities. So make your X-rays every 1 year. You brush twice a day, maybe floss every day,
Yeah.
but that's about it. But for other people, will be like, make sure you brush 3 times a day. Make sure you do water floss in the morning. Make sure you do flossing before you sleep.
Yeah.
Make sure you do X-rays every 6 months.
So it's really kind of like very subjective in each patient.
Yeah.
And you do advise the 6-month thing, biannual visits. I don't know why my dentist keeps saying I don't need to do that every 6 months. We're gonna talk. Okay. Anyway, so let's talk about these tricks and tips we see on social media. TikTok hacks to whiten your teeth and all that. Isn't that a little bit kind of dangerous for us? Listening to those people.
It is. So I would think ask your dentist about them. Everybody should ask. Do not follow. I mean, do not take. I mean, anything. Don't take an advice from somebody that's not a specialized in it. Yeah, you can try and error, but not everything you can try.
So you kind of like don't trust everything you see in terms of dentistry unless you ask a specialist
Yes,
or someone that actually knows their what they're doing.
that's right.
On the social media question, since we're talking about TikTok, I'm sure even in your clinic, you must face a lot of sometimes, as Ahmed said, like someone doesn't like their teeth, they're fighting with you, give me the teeth I want, and so on. But I'm sure also that reflects on social media as well. So you must have a lot of negative comments on social media, comments that someone doesn't like something or he doesn't like your lifestyle, whatever it is. How do you deal with the negativity that can come your way on social media?
والله يعني seriously alhamdulillah I didn't have lots of negativity regarding my work on
Yeah.
social media. But you'll definitely have one of those patients that complain a lot,
Yeah.
complain, do direct messages, complain over the phone, complain even in the clinic,
Yeah.
not sometimes through commenting. But you will have those patients. I
Yeah.
try my best honestly to explain to them what's the problem, what
Yeah.
happened, and how can I solve it for you. Like
Yeah.
if you're upset, okay, now we're upset, we're here, you broke your tooth, you didn't like it. How can I help you?
Mm.
How can I help you? Can I help you, or can I help you with any other doctor? I don't mind if you think we are
Yeah.
disagreeing on the plan, or if I didn't make you, I don't mind you, switching doctors, for example.
Yeah.
You know, so I try my best, but doesn't happen
I
all
love
the
that
time.
there's a therapist side of you, doctor. Like you kind of like have to be a therapist after you're a dentist. You know, after you finish your teeth, hoping that they're perfect, you have to be a therapist. Like, listen,
I
these are your
put I put a
teeth.
little slow music in the clinic, and then I
Is that
walk.
your technique when you're like
Yeah,
in
yeah,
surgery or
yeah.
something?
I tell my assistants put some
Put
slow
some
music.
like,
I'm coming in.
uh, so you're working with like not chill vibes, getting in the zone, doing your thing.
Yeah.
That's
I
cool.
mean, I love work, honestly. I love my job.
That's
So
good
I
to be
think,
passionate about what you do.
yeah, I don't mind. I mean, I work on Fridays, so
So you work around the clock.
yeah.
Well, thank you for coming to this episode today. In general, in life, if we were to talk about you're someone very obviously inspired, very motivated, like you must have a circle that supports you or encourages you or makes sure that you're keeping for going forward.
Yeah.
What are those? What's the support system they have?
Uh, I I I surround myself, I guess, with very successful people, doctors,
Nice,
family members,
nice.
and I try to learn from them, even though I might not ask, but I love listening. So I listen to them a lot,
Mm,
like explaining things, telling stories, telling how they deal with things,
Sharing
and yeah,
experiences,
yes,
learning from one another.
like what do
yes,
they do that I can take on board, kind of
yeah.
thing.
Unless I get stuck really with some kind of particular issue, and I
Mm,
go to that person that I think he's good at that
yeah.
issue, and then I will ask him. But yeah, that's what I
Exactly.
do.
I'm sure you can take so many lessons from family members, from friends, even
Yeah,
if it doesn't need to be in dentistry, does it?
yeah, no,
You can
doesn't
take
have to be.
something from everywhere and you
Yeah,
can apply it to yourself.
yeah, definitely,
Okay, love it.
definitely.
Well, it's been lovely having this conversation with you. I'm going to ask you the question that you hate. Any advice as a dentist or someone with of your career?
I would say in particular, or
Yeah.
don't get veneers if you don't need them.
Oh, okay.
That's one.
When do I need veneers?
So if you don't need, if your doctor telling you not to do it, then just
Mm.
don't do it.
I think you're a very honest dentist. Thank you for your
Oh,
time.
thank you so much. Your honesty, honestly, it's a beautiful conversation, very insightful, and I love the fact that you have so many sides to you. The dentist, the artist is one of the most shocking ones to me, to be honest. And I've never.
The doctor artist is your nickname now.
If I was you, that would be my bio. I'd be honest. Like, it's like applying art in dentistry. Like, you know.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you guys.
And we'll be right back with our wrap up.
Thank you. We're back to wrap up this beautiful, beautiful episode.
Yeah.
What do you feel?
Another dentist to talk to and
Yeah.
to get more perspective on his field, their field. And this one is very giving. Dr. Yousif is very
Yeah.
giving of his time,
100%.
his passion,
Yeah.
and he's an artist.
And what is
when
it
it comes
about
to
you being so
dentistry.
passionate about dentistry?
Oral hygiene is very important to me.
I feel you have so many questions.
I don't know, maybe I was a dentist in a previous life. I don't know.
You know what we should do? I think we should have an episode, the Untold Stories of Ahmad and his life with dentists.
Don't have any bad stories. I've had the best dentists I've worked with.
Yeah.
They're very, very honest,
Yeah.
and they were very easygoing with my.
Just like Dr. Yusuf
You know,
today.
just like to yours.
His
We gotta
honesty-
go for a checkup with him, maybe.
Maybe. And
And see.
who would have thought he's kind of like an artist?
Yeah, dentistry, artistry
Who would have
goes hand
thought?
in hand. Who would have thought?
Not me.
Well, join us tomorrow for another Eid special, right here on KTV2. Hussein and Ajouz,
Ahmad Wazidi.
and I'll see you tomorrow.